The company?
No, that exact shape.
Since I don't have any old ones, I don't know. They did modify it slightly, like 4 or 5 years ago.
I just put in some buttons. I got the new. It looks different than that.
I don't think they changed it, but I could be wrong.
Late and early differences?
No, probably originally from the factory there were slight differences for years to years, but this company is very independent, and it's like, this is close enough, and yes, you know, we've experimented, and it comes out looking pretty nice, and they just don't want to have a zillion part numbers. Okay, what we've got right now is we're left with a layer of cotton. We've got jute underneath here. It's a little bit beyond our scope to pull the thing down completely. We are going to just check and make sure that he doesn't have any broken springs, because we don't want to go to all this trouble and expense and find that he's got broken springs in here. So sometimes they'll actually just fracture and the metal will let go. But it's looking like everything's good there. They also have some other stuff, and I think this was to help prevent squeaking. You notice that they got this material goes between here, which you have to go up and down. That's the only thing I figured, is that they hoped that it would help to prevent squeaking in here. So if yours is torn on one side, you are going to want to get something back into there.
Is there any way to strengthen those springs on the side? Because those seems to be the weakest point.
These right here?
Yes.
Some upholstery shops, they don't make exact springs for this, but some of the upholstery shops probably have a universal spring that could be put in there. Yeah, as you can see, there's just one on each side, and then they've got these going across the front, and that's basically the whole strength of it. We've never really had anyone ask us much for the springs. I guess if people run into that, they take it to a professional and see what they can do for it. I know on some of the Camaros and some of the things now you can actually buy complete seat units bare to start building up. I would never count on it happening for Corvair. You've got to realize the difference in scale is humongous between Camaros, Mustangs, and us. At this point, we've taken everything off we can. Are we sure that we've gotten, well, there's a little bit of a, we need to flip it over, I think, and double check. We've got some here. I'll just take it around. This one is a nice one as far as where the spring is going. So, real quickly, right under this burlap, right there, right under my thumb on either side, there's a spring running from front to back. It's a spring, it's a wire, let's say. That's what we're aiming for, and on this seat it lines up nice. But it's not unusual to find that it's up to ½ an inch off in either direction. But right under there I can feel that spring, so we're in good shape.
So all in all, you'd say this is a fairly decent used specimen to continue.
Yeah, you want to make sure that this cotton is not totally missing around the edges, and this is in good shape. We do sell some cotton. Sometimes fabric places locally, you can pick up raw cotton, or I don't know what it's called. But anyway, yeah, I probably wouldn't on this. Plus, I didn't bring any cotton. But you do have to have padding over this wire. And that's what I'm looking for, is to make sure that all the way around we've got the padding. The seat bun is going to make up for the fact that maybe this was originally a 1/4 of an inch thicker. it isn't going to matter because of the seed fund. Make sure there's no mouse nests, no stuff left in here. I think we're looking pretty good. Pull that back just a little bit there.
You would use hog rings to make sure that's fastened on?
The cotton?
Yes.
The cotton is hog ringed on in a few places, yeah. Here, here, here. About every 5 to 6 inches they did put it on, and that's what I was checking to make sure that those are all holding it in place. This aspect of it isn't too bad if you have to replace this cotton. Before they modified that, and people had to stuff the cotton in on top, though. Again, I don't know how they did it at the factory because it wants to ball up. We've got to get this down, then we've got to pull this over, and then we've got to stuff it back up in there. It was a nightmare trying to do that, which is why they went slightly fuller on the foam. It's just, it wasn't worth it.
Cal,
Yeah.
what if you need to replace the jute?
The burlap, I have not looked into that, but I'm going to look into it when we get back.
Because sometimes when it's rusty, it breaks off, it starts cutting off.
Yeah. I haven't been able to find a supplier, but I'm sure there has to be a supplier. So I hope to be able to offer some yardage of that for when people do want to take it down to that level.
Okay.
Like I said, we do have the cotton. That can be a little bit hard to find too. You'd think cotton would be pretty much a normal thing, but you've got to hit places that have a reason to have it. Yeah, and that's pretty good overall.
Could you use quilting batting in substitute?
If it's fairly thin, and I guess some of that is, it tends to be a little puffier than cotton, but I think on this level it probably wouldn't matter. Yeah, as long as you don't overdo it. But that, and I don't know how that is as far as the strength for going around here and clipping. No quilting yet, maybe in my old age.
You'll need one.
So what we're doing right now is just kind of a trial fit. We know we have to line these up, but the other thing is we need to get it as far back as we can. Now, you'll notice the first thing you see is, wow, that's hanging way over. But we want it to because we want to end up pulling that around like that to give us a nice smoothness. The other thing that surprises quite a few people, and you probably have never paid attention to it, but when this is installed in your car, notice how there's 2.5 inches before you get to that beading, okay? Some manufacturers, when they make cars, don't think of the fact that if they put this up here, you're going to feel that beading under your legs. And I've driven a few cars, even some current ones, where they put this bead too far up and you always feel it under your legs. So in this case, GM rounded it around there quite a ways. So it's well under your legs. So we've got to make sure that we're pretty well lined up. And this is going way too easy because it lines up perfectly. The next thing is back here, we can't just have this bulging up here. We need to start pulling that down and back of the springs. So this will get tucked down around and pulled in. Now you can't pull it all the way, depending on where your spring ends up. So if I can pull it around real quick, you'll see that's pulled well down into there. This seat bun here is almost pulled right back to here on the bottom. We're tucking that fabric underneath the springs. We're not allowing it to bunch all up there. And it's starting to pull down nice in this direction. Now, like I said, at the factory, it seems to me like they then took the seat, put the seat on top of here, and hog-ringed everything at one time. I'm not that good. I just like to know for sure that I've got my seat bun back as far as I want, and that it's going to stay there. So I could use a volunteer to hold the seat up for a minute. You do want to get some decent hog ring clips. If you're going to do a whole set of upholstery and you're doing it yourself, spend the $20, $25, $30 to get a decent pair. These are getting a little old, but my dad used them, so I figured if they were good enough for him, they were good enough for me. And they make different ones. If you want to go into this professionally, you know, you can get angled ones, you can get ones that have slightly different teeth. But anyway, there's the hog ring when you start. And you're going to take between 200 and 300 to do a full set of upholstery. So all I'm going to do right now is pull it tight, put a few of these in here just so I know it's not going to move on me.
Now you're just hooking it to one of the springs, right?
Yep, just right to one of the springs. Pulling it fairly tight, squeezing it as tight as I can.
Ken, would you suggest having an assistant with you whenever you're doing this?
Definitely.
Or beer. Yeah. Free beer for your friend.
Preferably one that doesn't get antsy after the first half hour. And say, that's it, I'm done.
That's where the beer comes in.
Yeah. Okay, so we've gotten that far. This next part is kind of a leap of faith.
That's what you want to hear, right?
Everybody, wait a minute here.
It's a qualifier.
Okay, if you want to hold it like that, down here more. I'm just double checking that my seam is still lined up where I want it. And this is where some guy that does this every day, all his life, has more of a feel, but we've got to put some tension on this. We've got to start pulling this around. And when we get it around here, don't be afraid to pull on it fairly tight. I mean, you're not trying to rip the fabric off, but you do want to start pulling this around. My father even designed a thing where he put these little clips on either side and he'd have a rubber band so that it would hold the thing the way he wanted it. The rubber band broke, and I couldn't find one that was the right size, so we'll struggle along without it.
Somewhere in Japan.
One of those lobster claw rubber bands. You know,
That might be too much. My fingers couldn't.
that's it. Okay.
Well, there's one that did nothing. Even though you think that you're down there and you're going to get it, you don't always. And you know, I really suggest if you get one that you know right then and there didn't do anything, get rid of it. You just don't know where it may show up in your seat. And that was done on purpose so that I could.
I'm music.
Yeah. And as you're separating the sides there, you're also opening up the gap so that you can see the proper positioning.
Would there be any benefit to doing the hog ring and jute? Do that to the wire and the jute and all of that first before you start pulling this off? Would there be any benefit to that?
I'm just putting 3 on this side, and then I'm going to put 3 on the other side. Then I want to see where I am.
Okay. Just
Normally it will end up, but no, I can see your idea too sounds pretty good. For some reason, I've just never started that way, but where we knew it was lined up, that might have been a good idea.
That would apply tension to begin with.
Yeah, and my next set of upholstery I'm doing in probably a month, so. Yeah, we can go right along.
To do it along the jute line.
Yeah.
Yeah, to hold it down in place, and then you go from there, because then you know it's not going to move.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I've never done it that way, but.
Maybe only 2 or 3 maybe.
Yes, exactly. Just to stabilize it and apply tension.
So how soon can you get to Massachusetts?
Good job.
Sorry.
I think we're going to try your method there.
Oh, here you go.
Well, it just seems to me that it would stabilize it, that's what you're aiming for.
They usually end up staying there pretty good. So I really hadn't worried about that in the past, but the more I think about it, the more I like your idea.
Well, thank you.
Except that means we've got to redo all the instructions for all the people that read it.
Well, pretend I didn't say anything, you can just go.
Everybody in this tent.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
it's
sorry.
that's book 2018, isn't it?
It's sort of an advanced tip.
Sheet of paper and out.
There you go. See? So then
There's 3.
Good.
well, Cal let me know.
And now it's stable.
I'll deal with it, but it was just, that was, okay.
So far her idea seems to be working pretty good.
Yay. I try to make things simple.
Oh,
Yes.
You'll have that.
and you can tell I accepted that pretty good, which means that I accepted pretty good from my wife too, so I've been trained.
Why?
I'm not the smartest one around, and I know that there's other good ideas out there. It's just I don't always admit it to her.
Seat video.
Unless there's a car I'm looking at. Then
Sometimes you get an email address from somebody.
she knows if she gets total agreement too much that something's up.
So what step would this be? If you're not doing it now, would this be after you got all the headers done?
No.
What step would this be?
First step.
Normally I would go around and just pull it down, and then I would go back and just shift it a little bit. This may be good in that it may allow us to pull the sides even a little tighter.